freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 357 of Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, we educate, and we inform. We are brought to you by azfirearmsauctions.com, where you set the price on guns, ammo, and accessories. I am one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd, and usually sitting next to me is the other guy, Dan, but he's a little under the, you're not Dan. We've noticed he's a little under the weather. So we have filling in for him.
Dan and Cheryl's daughter, Cassie Todd Jameson. And our guest today is the fabulous Deb Ferns. Deb is the founder of both Women's Outdoor Media Association and the She Never Quit event, the SNQ. SNQ is an annual charity event that fosters community and leadership, encouraging and promoting women who are and who want to become active in the shooting sports, archery, fishing, and hunting through social and mass media. The 2021 SNQ brought together women of every skill level from all across the nation to enjoy camaraderie and the outdoor sports in a safe and fun environment with world-class trainers. And I was there, and you were there.
Absolutely.
And it was fabulous.
It was fabulous. Welcome back to the show, Miss Deb.
Thank you so much, because we all became friends at the October event, and it's always nice to reconnect with friends.
Absolutely. And as Cassie mentioned, as in attendees, we can enthusiastically say congratulations on a hugely successful event. But as the organizer, the person that has done it several years, how does it stack up to previous years?
Last year, this past 2021 event was the largest event we had ever done. Think about, I know we're all very excited, largest in terms of people, largest in terms of the dollars we raised, the number of gun ranges and bays that we ran. I mean, it was just, it was an outstanding success and helped in large part. Let's face it, everybody gets there, everybody pitches in, whether you're an attendee or a trainer. It was a blessed by good weather, blessed by great camaraderie. So we raised, to give you an idea, we raised the most we've ever raised before. We raised over $40,000 this year.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And that's not like, you get to say, oh yeah, I got 40 grand. I'm going to stick it in my pocket.
Oh,
no, you give every single, I think I understand, you give every single dollar away.
Yes. We are, and have been since 2009. We have been an all volunteer board. And from meeting the board members, again, blessed is the right word. We've been together a long time, and we all have that common mission, the common mission of introducing more women to hunting, fishing, shooting sports, and archery. Mm-hmm. And the one time a year that we all get together is She Never Quit. I wish we could do it several times a year, but again, you ladies know we're an all volunteer board. We all work other jobs.
Absolutely.
So that it takes a lot of prep work to put on a big event like that. And I want to give a big kudos to Gun Stuff TV, because he came out to do a documentary on this past She Never Quit.
Absolutely. Christopher Swainhart is a sweetheart.
Yes. Hey, I'm going to tell him you said that.
Absolutely. I love it. So, when you talk about your board members, and I did have a chance to interview several of them, one that was so busy making amazing food in the kitchen the whole time, I didn't get a chance to chat with her, but we've been posting those up lately. But one of the attendees that was there I had a chance to interview her because she was sort of a liaison for the facility. She used the word, she had been 1 year before. This was her second year in 2021. She said that the previous year was transformative.
I like that word.
I know. And it was like, that is such a specific way to describe an experience, right? We say it was fun, it was exciting, it was awesome, it was these things. She said transformative.
I like that word. And usually people use empowering, but you know what? For women that come to our event, I will say, I've got a prayer wheel that is filled with notes and blog, pieces that women have sent me, notes they've sent me, cards they've sent me, saying words like, I walk different from, when I'm done with She Never Quit. I walked differently than when I leave. I walk a little taller. I like the word transformative though, because I think it's appropriate.
And I feel that that right there is something that so many people we're hungry for. We want experiences, but we want them to stick with us and mean something, and not just have sort of the top of the mountain, summer camp moment, but then we just go back to normal life. We want to be changed and transformed. And so I do hope that people watching this and listening to this are captivated, as I was, by that word, and want to have that experience for themselves. Because I'm going to throw Cassie into the mix right now. This was kind of my year for doing things out of my own comfort zone. And if I'm going to do it, she's got to
take her with you. Good.
Come with me.
As a good mom should.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so what were some of your key moments, besides maybe getting to shoot under the instruction of Olympic
Lanny Barnes? That was the coolest part, because we know her through the DC project, but to get to have shooting tips from an Olympic shooter, pretty dang cool. I'm sorry. It was cool, pretty dang cool.
When, I just spent the week with Lanny. We were at the Fiocchi booth, which is actually part of Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, which is also part of this big national finals rodeo. So people from every walk of life, 50,000 of them, right? From every walk of life, going to Lanny, and then to me. Well, to Lanny, they were going, I know you, or I've seen you. And they had to get in context that she's a 3-time Olympic biathlete, which ski and shoot. Mm-hmm. But now she's one of the top reigning female 3-gunners, pistol, rifle, and shotgun throughout the world.
Oh, wow.
She is an amazing woman. She's an amazing friend. When I met them, her and her identical twin sister, Tracy, when I met them, now it would be 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, I said to them, when you are done with your Olympic careers, you are mine. You are mine. And so they both came on to help me as trainers for Babes with Bullets. Kay Michalik, who's my head instructor, who she and I have been together forever with Babes with Bullets, right? So she said to me, I'll train Tracy and Lanny to be 3-gunners. Of course, Kay is a 15-time national 3-gun champion, and 12 or 13-time world champion. And that's what she did. So she started training them in pistol, rifle, and shotgun. And then both those girls came on as Babes with Bullets instructors. And then, voila, we pulled them into She Never Quit. Mm-hmm. Yes. So all good, all blessed.
Yes. All blessed. It absolutely phenomenal. And, for me, getting to shoot shotgun, I don't shoot shotguns at all very often, right? But to shoot at a target, under the tutelage and instruction of Kay Michalik.
Well,
I mean,
pretty
just
dang cool.
Pinch me.
I know. And there was not, when you look at the majority of the trainers you had, they are our Babes with Bullets core staff. There isn't a person on the line, not one person in one of the 9 ranges and bays that we have going, that I could not personally vouch for. Every single one of them, I've shot matches with them. They've been involved in Babes with Bullets. You name it. It was all about, as you already know, safety.
Right. Yeah.
I will tell you that the 2022 She Never Quit is completely sold out with an extensive waiting list.
Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal.
Yes. So we're very lucky, but that does not mean, so that you know, Cassie, and you know, Cheryl, people that go on to the She Never Quit or go on to the Women's Outdoor Media Association website, they could definitely make donations so that they have the opportunity to help us help more of our charities.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
it's not like they can't go on. And I actually had a couple of folks at National Finals Rodeo and Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation walk up and say, they were guys, and they walked up and said, we want to make a donation. We like what you're doing. I'm like,
Oh,
That's awesome.
that's beautiful.
Well, and another thing that I want to say that's so cool about the event, and I really think that this is a gun community thing too. Everybody has their isms in each organization and communities, but with the gun, especially at your event, at the She Never Quit event, these women who are training us and have all of these titles, yes, thank you,
and accolades,
are also sitting right next to you at dinner
I
and
know.
having a conversation and just people. And I really do think the gun community does that well. Like there are celebrities, but they are people, you know, and they talk to everybody like they're people. And I just think that is something
there's
that I
no
hope that we
hoity-toity
stay.
going on, is there?
I hope no.
No
And
hoity-toity going on.
I hope it stays that way. I love it.
It's for as long as I'm alive as the founder, I will have a board position, right?
Yeah.
This is not something that goes on to my daughters because it's kind of not their thing. But as long as myself and Marcia Petrie Sue and our whole goal is that if you want women to step up and step out and be comfortable with what they're doing with shooting sports or handling firearms, what you want to do is you want to bring down the angst and you want to bring up the fun.
Yes.
And
you
so
do that brilliantly.
if you have professionals that are not into creating angst, they're not into, as you well know, having been there, no drama llamas.
Yeah.
None.
Okay? So that's one of the reasons why it has stayed so successful for so long, is everybody, especially the board of directors, we all get into that harness and one horse pulls just like the other horse. And there's no room in that whole group for a princess moment. You know, we get in, we want all of the women that leave to feel like they're taking a skill set back to their communities. Because, you know, here's something I was working on before when we were all together. Somebody said to me, well, look at, you're creating all these leaders. And I look at the DC project and I see where you are genuinely trying to create leaders in every community to help with Second Amendment. And I see it, right? What I see also, and I'm going to lay this on the heart of the 2A community, of the Second Amendment community, is that just because you lead by example does not mean you're creating leaders. So I'm going to, that was one of the things I had to give a lot of thought to about living outside your comfort zone. Something we'll talk about a little bit is that so many people don't want to step up. They want to take advantage of the event. They want to take advantage of the experience, but they don't want to step up because, as you both know, it's a commitment, it's work.
Yeah.
But if they don't step up, who is going to step up?
Right.
Yeah.
So I lay it on their hearts. I lay it on their hearts that you have a responsibility when you attend She Never Quit. You have a responsibility when you come to a Babes with Bullets event. You have a responsibility when you're active with Gun Freedom Radio. You have a responsibility to be a good citizen and step up.
Oh, I love that. That is so brilliantly said. So just to take a moment and talk about these amazing trainers, because, you say it has to be fun, but the best way to have fun around, tools of self-defense, archery, firearms, these kinds of things, is to make it safe. And it was absolutely very safe. And so when you have people that are so well trained and so confident in their craft, they are safety first. They're leading us through each event and each station with safety in mind, and then we can just all relax and have fun. And so you did have Lanny Barnes, also known as Lanny Oakley, which I just love, right? To play on Annie Oakley. You had Kay Michalik, Mia Ann Stein.
Was she not awesome at archery? Now,
Awesome at archery.
Mia is not only a Babes with Bullets alum, where she came to learn a handgun, but she in herself is a professional guide out in Colorado. But archery is, I just don't know that they come any better than Mia. And then we had Lisa Munson, who you met.
Amazing.
Now, here's the funny part. Back in November of 2003, I was just learning how to shoot a handgun, right? And I met Lisa, who had just finished in the top 5 in the nation for handgun. I think she's a 12-time national champion and a 4-time world handgun champion. And Lisa Munson has been our senior instructor since we started Babes with Bullets back in 2004. So when I say names like Lisa Munson, Maggie Reese, she's another one, that comes on behalf of Ruger. She's been a Babes instructor for many, many years. She by herself has a lot of titles in multi-gun plus handgun. And then, you go right down the line and you go, then there's Cindy Noyes, who runs the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation. That's how a lot of people know her, right? So there's Cindy and, Lisa and Lanny and, Maggie's teaching. And then you've got me out there. And then you've got Joanne Wilson, who is an outstanding 3-gunner. But more importantly, how many women do you know run their own custom firearms shop where they customize the guns? And I can speak firsthand because I have one of Joanna's handguns. Right? I mean,
phenomenal.
She's so good. She's so good.
It's amazing. And then you even had Mia's daughter,
Leah.
She was Leah. She was helping with
shotgun.
Was it trap?
Trap and skeet.
Trap and skeet.
Yep.
Not my gift. Even as good a trainer as she is, I got nothing but air.
I did.
Right? But Cassie did great.
I did it.
Yeah, you did great. Well, you know what I will tell you too is that shotgun is a learned art. To me, shotgun, for me personally, I was best at rifle. Shotgun was my last one to master when I started doing a lot of multi-gun. But Leah is a level 1 shotgun coach, probably by the time we see her again, level 2. But here's the funny part. Leah was I met Leah again last week at National Finals Rodeo, and she is a gifted photographer.
Yes.
And she was there being paid by NFR to shoot photos of the team roping.
That's
I mean, she's just a gifted, let's put it this way, that apple didn't fall that far from that Mia tree. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and even though shotgun wasn't your thing, archery, you were very good at that. So we'll get to give you props for that.
Archery. I was like dead eye with archery.
Awesome.
So so that felt pretty good. But I don't hate it when there's something that I realize I need to work on, because that's just a challenge for me.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, yes, I'm going to spend more time on that thing because it's enjoyable. And I just felt like, there were other people waiting, and, I got 5 shots of nothing but air. I'm moving on for today. And I went to the booth. Shoot, the name of the gun is escaping me, but Staccato.
Oh, with Lanny Staccato. Now I shoot, so you got to appreciate, I'm a little prejudiced because for when I was shooting last year, when I was the first super senior woman, which means you're over 65, okay? I was the first super senior woman to ever shoot heavy metal division in what's called, these World 3-Gun Championships, right? And so I went around the country last year, basically sponsored by POF, which is Patriot, which is in your backyard, Patriot Factory. I shot a 308, which is an AR-10, a Staccato 45 cal single stack, and a Beretta 12 gauge shotgun. And then this year, I was not shooting heavy metal. I was shooting the regular matches, and I was shooting a Staccato 9mm XL, which you gal shot. Nice gun.
Oh,
Be still my
it
heart.
was,
Yeah.
oh my
I-
gosh.
I'm telling you, that staccato. So now I've got staccato in 9, 40, and 45. And
Mhm.
so I said to Lanny, I said, when we all do SHOT Show together, staccato is going to be putting on their own little event on that Monday before SHOT. And I said to Lanny, what else can I try? And my husband says to me, step away from the table.
That's right.
That's enough.
Exactly. Yeah, my Christmas gift this year does happen to have a staccato listed, just in case Santa wants to bring me one. It was,
And get
I
it with
felt
that
like-
high-vis sight.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, that's the ones you shot, and
Mhm.
that's the ones they just finished for me on my firearms. I can't say enough good things about high vis, not just as a sponsor, but
Mhm.
because the difference of my shooting guns, shotguns and handguns without high vis,
Mhm.
and then shooting them with high vis, it's so obvious to me how much better my target transitions are, because my eyes, like everything else, ages, right?
Mhm.
And it's amazing to be able to pick up that vibrant high vis
Mhm.
sight on my guns. So we
They were
very
awesome.
lucky.
I
Yeah.
was intimidated that I was going to let the gun down. Like, I mean, like if I don't shoot you well, Mr. Staccato firearm, I'm going to feel like I've disappointed you as a tool of self-defense.
No, you
Beautiful.
did great. You
Oh,
did.
it was awesome. So talk to us about who does attend, who should attend an event like this. And I know you said you're already sold out for 2022,
Yes.
but that doesn't happen without people being engaged and being ahead of the curve and knowing.
You are correct. You are
And
absolutely
so-
correct about that being in front of the curve. So really how it all started when we started doing this planning it like 7 years ago. At that time, because Marcia Petrie Sue and most of the people on the board of directors have all been affiliated with Babes with Bullets. So we really started it back then, just putting out, I'm fighting a head cold like Dan is. So
Yeah, no worries. Take a quick swig. There you
so
go.
anyway, we ended up going to our Babes with Bullets email blast and saying, would you girls be interested, this is like 7 years ago, would you girls be interested in coming out and doing this She Never Quit as a charity event? And yeah, okay. And then what happened is over the years, it's transitioned from women that were Babes alum, many of them have been Babes alum, but here's the deal. Women travel in herds.
Yes,
And
you
I don't mean that to be mean or nasty. It doesn't mean all women do. I mean, I drove, well, we were running Babes all over the country. I'm driving 28,000 miles a year in a little Class C with me and Otis and Mingus, right? So
the pups.
that is the herd, me and the 2 dogs. But
Yeah.
that said, so many of the Babes alum who came to it now said, my daughter needs this. My next door neighbor needs this. My sister needs this. My sister-in-law needs that. And the next thing you know, like Pat Holly, she comes and she's got a daughter in tow and a cousin.
I love
And
it.
I'm thinking to myself, that's how it happens. You know,
Mhm.
that's how you get you get that overwhelming response to an event, is
Mhm.
that those women go back to their community and say, I want to bring her, I want to bring her. And I have a lot of men who say, what do we have to do to get you to write, to start a He Never Quit? And I went, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Someone else has to do
It's
that.
all I can do to keep the She Never Quit going, along with other things. But that's really how it happened. I mean, now I'm going to say only 50% of the women attending are Babes alum, maybe 40%. And the rest are invitees, from, like you said, Cheryl, you invited Cassie.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I mean, and then Cassie is going to be, if at some point you can't make it to an event, Cassie's going to be going, hey, I've got this cousin, I've got
Yep.
this next, I've got this, this gal that I'm good friends with that really needs to come.
Absolutely.
And it just grows and grows. Now in 2022, we did change it to late April, as you know, and we
Mhm.
did that because it's so difficult in the fall to go up against hunting season.
Yes.
It's very hard. And we just figured what we had to avoid is we didn't want to put it on top of NRA, which is
Mhm.
Memorial Day weekend, right?
Mhm.
And we didn't want to put it right on top of any hunting dates. And you guys, let's face it, Cassie, you know this, dead of summer, it's just hard when families want to go away and do things together.
Mhm.
And it's hotter than everything, so
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be in Texas in July.
no, absolutely not.
No.
And it is held in Texas. I think you have a different facility for your April event.
Yes, Lazy CK Ranch. Bless their hearts, Lazy CK Ranch is in Hunt, Texas. So think San Antonio is where most would land, unless they're going to drive. And I believe if you look at Hunt, Texas, it's north and a little bit west. My husband might be yelling out to me, no, it's north of San Antonio by about 70 miles. And that's the nearest place. And it's a 10,000 acre private ranch.
Wow.
Amazing.
So we're going to do
Fantastic.
all sorts of, different things. They've got saunas and hot tubs and animals everywhere. They've got animals everywhere, both exotics and whitetail and things like that. But I'm really, really excited because they gave us our own Conex box at that ranch, and they're
Nice.
building us a brand new pistol range.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Oh my gosh. See, these are the kinds of connections, relationships that move the needle. And when Lazy CK Ranch can see the work that you're doing, who is benefiting, how they're benefiting, and they want to be part of that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
it is amazing. And they definitely gave us a screaming good deal to use their ranch.
Mhm.
And I am very grateful. Alan Robinson actually was the gentleman that showed up. You all met him. Alan Robinson, he kind of went around. And not only that, but do you remember we had burgers that night or the next night? Big
Yeah,
bison burgers.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think brought us that 40 pounds of bison burger so we could try that stuff at the She Never Quit?
I
Alan
didn't
did.
I didn't know
realize
that.
that.
That's
Well,
nice.
thank you, because that was delicious.
was.
Yes.
So, looking forward, besides the fact that you've got, you just in October of 2021 had a She Never Quit
Right.
full-blown event. Now
Yeah.
you've got one coming up in April,
Yeah.
full-blown
Short
event,
turnaround.
right? You just were saying you were at the Rocky Mountain Elk
Foundation.
Rodeo stage.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
constantly on the go. You're involved with Gun Stuff TV. But looking forward, in your spare time,
Yes. Yes.
what do you have going on? You have maybe a new book coming out.
I do. I'm working on another book right now called Living Outside Your Comfort Zone. I've been doing speaking programs, and basically I'll, as long as somebody reimburses me for gas and hotel, I step up, and I've got about a 20-25 minute presentation program I do, a pretty easy slideshow. And it talks a lot about that I didn't start shooting till I was age 50. I didn't start hunting until I was age 55, 56, right? And a lot of women, what I'm doing is I'm encouraging them to step outside their comfort zone, because yes, it's wonderful when you're in your 20s or your 30s and you're just going, let's try this, let's try that. But a lot of women right now are raising children, okay? And by the time they get to their mid 40s, and maybe those kids are off to school, or maybe they're 50 years old and those kids are off to college or whatever. And the women are saying to me, a lot of women are saying to me, we're just kind of, we don't know what to do with ourselves. We have an empty nest going on. We're not sure, and I just say to them, you have to step outside your comfort zone. You have to find something that you're passionate about. The way you're passionate about DC Project and Second Amendment, the way I'm passionate about Second Amendment and teaching women. And also I'm passionate about field, meaning, whether it's a hog hunt or it's a whitetail doe hunt, or my first archery elk hunt that I just took a couple weeks ago. I'm passionate about field the fork. I want to know how to take care of myself for organic meat. And then, so I talk about those things on living outside your comfort zone. And I throw a lot of noodles against the wall, to see which ones will stick.
Yes.
Because I think there's a lot of women out there, my age, Cheryl, maybe even Cassie's age in the younger group. You are both way younger than me, but bottom line, there's a lot of women out there saying, I want to do more with my life.
Yeah.
I want to do more with my life. And I'm not saying don't be involved with your community. You know, I do a lot with my church because my husband and I both train our ushers on handgun 101, right? It's a perishable skill. If you are going to carry a firearm, if you are going to have firearms be part of your life, how at whatever level, maybe it's even hunting, right? It's a perishable skill. Going out one time a year to hunt with that rifle, and the only time you're going to shoot it is when you're in the field, it's a perishable skill. I would no more get on I-10 and only drive during rush hour one time a year. I get in my car and I drive 75, 80 miles an hour with everybody else, and I drive one time a year. No, it's a perishable skill. You've got to get out and keep it going. And that's what I encourage women to do. Find what speaks to your passion. Find what, you know, don't be afraid to try, you know, step outside your comfort zone and know that you might get a lot of naysayers. You know, women you get that join DC Project, women that I get to come to She Never Quit or Babes with Bullets programs. And they said, boy, you know, I did this. My mom and dad are not happy with me because they are adamantly anti-gun. And I said, okay. I said, but bottom line is nowhere in the Bible does it say your life is a dress rehearsal.
Wow. That's well said.
So if this is something you want to try, you know, maybe it's women that say, I'm in my 50s. I'd like to learn how to ride a horse at least one time in my life. I'm going to go take lessons. What are you waiting for?
Yes.
Right. If you want to learn how to shoot and you want to get better at shotgun, you're going to do it. You're going to do it because what are you waiting for?
Right.
I love that. And just even if you just say, you know, step outside, like, just step outside, like live outside. You can even leave off your comfort zone. But it does tend to follow, because if we're not accustomed to being out of doors, then we are out of our comfort zone. But there is so much that we get to experience when we do go outside of our comfort zone, but even going outside. So when families go shooting together, families go hunting together, families go just camping together, right? We have an opportunity to bond in a different way, learn different skill sets, see things, you know, surprise ourselves about things we didn't even know.
That. I'm going to write that down. Surprise yourself. I'm liking that
we might not even realize we were interested in or good at. Right. Or like me with the skate. I didn't know I wasn't good at it. Now I do. Now I've got a new thing that I can work on and practice. I love that.
Well, I couldn't, Cheryl and Cassie, I couldn't agree more with the whole premise of Gun Freedom Rodeo and the big event you do in February. I am 110% committed to people asking non-gun people to attend your event.
Thank you.
I'm
big
interested.
Second Amendment rally.
I'm very interested in that. And I'll give you for instance, in how we can reach bipartisan, if you want to call it that. One of the things I'm doing a lot of work with is Wild Horse Fire Brigade. And it's because in the Western states, Bureau of Land Management has all but eradicated. When I was a kid, many years ago, there was almost 1 million wild horses, Mustangs west of the Mississippi, almost 1 million. Now wild, there's less than 30,000.
Oh, wow.
And we have 60,000 of them in BLM pens where they each get a 10-foot by 10-foot pen to spend the rest of their life in. That's it.
Oh, wow.
So I do Wild Horse Fire Brigade because it's a way to wake people up that there's another option. We have 20 million critical wilderness acres in Oregon alone. And we can let wild horses in critical wilderness because guess what they eat? They eat the tinder that create wildfires. They
love
5.5 tons of it every year. So what I said in my big Zoom call with Wild Horse Fire Brigade is I said to these women, 12 of them that were all sit on this board, I said, how many of you would call yourself conservative? Well, only my little hand went up, right? And one other hand went like this. I don't think she knew she should admit she's and the rest were all pretty much liberals. And they came back and they said on this Zoom call, which was just yesterday, they went, we are amazed that we could find anything to have in common with a conservative like you. And I didn't take offense. I looked at him and I said, that's the problem. I said, I don't know you and you don't know me. You don't know why I'm so adamant about Second Amendment and why I'm adamant about managing wild game correctly. You know, you don't get it. And I don't understand where you come from. Okay. And I said, but if we can find bipartisan issues to agree on. I said, if we can let what happens in Washington, D.C. and the disappointments we have with our politicians, right, go by the wayside if we can find some common ground. And that's what I hope when we are doing the two-way event with Gun Freedom Radio. I want to see in February people that want to challenge us on why we believe in Second Amendment. I want people to challenge us on why we believe in hunting, why we believe in She Never Quit.
Absolutely.
Right? So
that's beautiful.
I don't think we just need always to stick with our own people. It'd be beautiful. And I don't even, maybe not beautiful, but it'd be constructive.
Yes.
To see, and everybody's got to stop screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, for sure. And so you are talking about on February 19th, 2022, on the grounds of the Arizona State Capitol, our organization, Gun Freedom Radio, AZ Firearms Auctions, Pot of Gold Auctions, we've partnered with a group called Riders USA with a rally that they began. This will be our 9th season. It's only, I think, maybe our 4th season with them that we've partnered together. And it is the Celebrate and Protect the Second Amendment rally event. It is a family friendly, there's face painting and balloons for the kids. There's a Patriot Park for the kids. And it is for everyone. This isn't a conservative, event or a GOP event or whatever. Because why? Because our Second Amendment is for everyone. It's
everybody.
Part of our Bill of Rights.
So is the First Amendment.
Yes.
And I reminded these gals on the Zoom, there was one guy, but mostly gals. And I just said, I'm big in Second Amendment because it's all that protects your First Amendment. I said, if you need a clear image of what's going on with First Amendment, take a look at Australia. I said, they don't have a First Amendment, Second Amendment, things like we do. And take a look. I said, I don't know if you gals are all pro-jab. That's your right. Whether you're pro-vaccine or not, that's your right. In Australia, they lost that right.
They did.
In New Zealand, they lost that right. And I said, so your First Amendment right and your Second Amendment right are just a part of what's protecting you, because at some point, if we didn't have the Second Amendment, they can easily take away your First Amendment. And never has that been proven more true than watching what's going on in Europe and in Australia right now. And they even agreed with me and went, yeah, that's been a little spooky. That's been a little spooky. And I just thought, maybe when we're all together, when we're all together, and you tell me how long you want me to talk. Maybe we'll talk about living outside your comfort zone, or maybe we'll talk about, what happens. What happens when you let your government take those rights away from you?
Absolutely.
Because you're never going to get them back.
Right.
Never.
Boy, if that isn't the case. That's so well said. And always, the whole way that we fashioned our show, Gun Freedom Radio, whether it was a radio show or now it's a podcast style, it is to try to create conversations in that middle space. There are some people that they absolutely are never going to, embrace the idea of gun ownership or individual rights to gun ownership. That's fine, right? There's people that no matter what, they're always going to embrace those things. That's fine. But the change and the conversation, it's going to happen in that space in between where people haven't quite made up their minds. We just want to offer information and give them things to take around their dinner tables and in their carpools. And conversations like this will spark that movement to kind of wrestle with ideas. and
Yeah.
share them with their neighbor and say, yeah, I saw this thing and they were talking about this she never quit thing. And, there's archery involved. Like, what do you think about that? Like, should women just be out there shooting up, clay targets, and then however your neighbor responds, at least it's an opportunity to have that conversation. And
Dialogue is everything. Screaming doesn't accomplish much, but dialogue is everything. Here's what I have found over these 18 years of running Babes with Bullets. All right. What I found is that you can't meet angst. You can't meet angst with double the angst. You can't, right? Because nobody listens. What I can do is I can meet angst with saying, I hear that this, I hear where you're coming from. Help me understand where you're coming from, because this is where I'm coming from.
yes.
And that's exactly how I handled the Zoom the other day. And of course, you could appreciate a lot of people that are involved with Wild Horse, Fire Brigade, or people that are involved with Wild Horse Rescue are really looking at these horses that die out there with helicopter roundups, and they're shooting them right and left. I said, when they're dying because of the helicopter roundup, all paid for by yours and my dollars, right? The Bureau of Land Management takes $155 million a year to feed horses that are happier in public land. But we're never going to win against big biz, you guys. We're never going to win against big biz. And as long as cattle grazers, sheep grazers, and mineral operators want public land, that's the way it's going to go. I mean, everybody said to me, oh, you're giving up already. I said, I'm not giving up. I'm changing direction, because we can't, you gals already know that we can only change people's minds one at a time, and changing a corporate lifestyle would be beyond Debbie's pay grade.
Yeah, definitely. But finding those bridge building opportunities, like you did with the wild horses, and caring about that. And as you were talking about this roundup and helicopters and shooting at horses, I'm so tapped into Yellowstone. Our whole family is like, she stayed up too late last night watching Yellowstone.
I'm sorry. We are very locked on to Yellowstone, and a lot of that's what you're saying is you're seeing it play out in that show, and I know it's theater, but it's also real life for people.
Absolutely. And how can you watch the show and the majesty and the beauty of the horses that they show and that lifestyle, and not feel like you want to help do something to preserve?
Well, you're spot on. In fact, one of the, just to give you a little background, so for 3 days over Thanksgiving, I was taping up near Wairika, California, which is actually near Ashland, Oregon. I was taping on Critical Wilderness with the gentleman that started Wild Horse Fire Brigade. We taped for 2.5 days, all the different wild horses. We taped 15 or 16 families that came forward saying wildfire helps nothing, right? We want the wild horses to be free. Anyway, we taped that. And now we're editing for a 90-piece TikTok and Instagram campaign on the call to help. The call to help Wild Horse Fire Brigade. In addition to which, Kevin Costner, we're going to see whatever it goes. We want that voiceover, because we're going to take our campaign and we're going to make it into a documentary on Wild Horse Fire Brigade. And we've been accepted into 12 film festivals already.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Kevin Costner. We know you're a huge fan of Gun Freedom Radio.
Yes.
I have no idea. I hope
I will tell you, we're asking that guy voice. So you girls help me. You help me, because we need a good guy voice that talks passionately about the horses. And, and somebody said, let's get Willie Nelson, right? There's another identifiable voice, correct? But we want a good, strong voice that wants to do this documentary with us. Because this is all in the mix, spending all of Christmas doing editing. You gals know what this is like. It's
for sure. Gosh, Don Collier would have been perfect, but he passed away just a few months ago. Sam, did
he have that real good voice?
Oh yes, iconic.
Find me one.
I will. We will. But I want you to get Kevin Costner. All right, we've got to wrap up. Okay. I want you to tell folks. We've mentioned a few times that the SNQ, the She Never Quit, does support different charities, but we haven't mentioned any of them.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you brought it up, because the one that's been a constant charity for us since we started was Foundation for Women Warriors. And Jody couldn't be there this year, their executive director, because very bluntly, she'd been exposed to COVID. Luckily, she never got it, but they had exposed their office, the 5 or 6 women that work in that office. Well, you know what that means. You got to quarantine, right?
Yes.
So Foundation for Women Warriors is a big one. Another one that was big was, and you heard Caroline talk about it, Trinity Oaks hunts for the terminally ill. And, a big chunk of the money goes there. They run Thumbtack Ranch, but you heard Caroline speaking about Trinity Oaks hunts for the terminally ill. That's huge. You all met Sarah Stillwell, who is a current Army, who started herwildlife.org so she could take first responder ladies and lady veterans on hunts, right? And I'm actually helping Sarah with herwildlife.org, because I already do that. I already work with some of the other not-for-profit groups taking lady veterans. But Sarah's deal is she wants it to be for women, operated by women, which is what Kay and I do with our Ladies Adventure Camp experience. We mentor women in the hunting field. But I'm not getting any younger, and I want to see a young Sarah step up and take on more. So we got her, and then we also put money into Team Never Quit, which is Marcus Luttrell and his wife Melanie Luttrell, who are good friends to us. And then we do another one that keeps making the news, Wreaths Across America.
Yes.
Where we help with these wreaths. And I'm just going to shout out and say, do not let these stupid anti-military, anti-law enforcement groups who think it's a white supremacist thing that we go lay wreaths to honor people that have, that have either served and served for us and have passed away, or served and passed away while serving. And I look at that and say, when I put a wreath on a grave, ladies, I don't know if that person was Black, white, Chinese, Asian. I don't know. Amen. All I know is that they're a veteran. And
exactly.
And wreaths across America are something that we've done every single year and will continue to do. But our big ones are Foundation for Women Warriors, herwildlife.org, Trinity Oaks, Hunt for the Terminally Ill. I mean, we kind of spread it and make it work. In fact, all the steel you shot, $30,000 worth of steel that was owed at Thumbtack Ranch was donated to us by Champion, AR5 Champion, that you saw the birds flying through the air.
Yes.
And the machines that we're throwing up were Champion machines for trap and skeet. Well, Champion also has AR500 steel, and they help us build our gun ranges for She Never Quit.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. We do need to get out of here, but tell folks, please, how do they follow all that Deb Ferns does? How do they donate if they can't make it to one of the She Never Quits, because the 2022 sold out already, or maybe they're not a she, maybe they're a he and they want to.
So if they go to www.thewoma.org, and it's the WOMA, or they just put in the Women's Outdoor Media Association, which is a long name, okay? But if they put that in, or they put in She Never Quit, we have the .com, we have the .org, and they'll see it right there on the website, right? And if they want to follow me, they can follow me through Babes with Bullets. They can follow me through the WOMA, but I also have Deb Ferns. And I post, I'm not as religious about it as I should be, because I'm spending so much time doing all this editing work. But if they reach out to me, between Erica Chin, who does our Babes with Bullets stuff, and Daphne Cassidy, who you've met, does our WOMA. If they reach out and they want more information, they send it on to me and I answer them. So it's a good family.
Yes, everybody helps out. I love it. Thank you again so much. We will definitely be in touch soon and have you back on to talk about whatever new thing you've got going on.
You all have a blessed holiday season, and we'll see you in 2022.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Bye. God bless. Oh, she's awesome. Too fun. I can't get over how much she does.
I know.
And
She
how,
is the Energizer Bunny.
she is the Energizer Bunny, and she's so much fun to know and to be around. And she is going to be one of our speakers at the 2022 Celebrate and Protect the Second Amendment event on the Arizona State Capitol lawn on February 19th, 2022. And I love that she doesn't even know yet for sure what she's going to talk about, because she could choose. She has such a menu of things she could pick from. So I love that. And we really do have to get out of here. We've got another guest. We do 3 shows each week, back to back, and then we spread them out throughout the week. And so the way that you see any other shows that we have coming up is, if you like to watch the video version, you can go to YouTube, Gunstreamer, or the OpsLens app. And when you go to YouTube and Gunstreamer, please click the subscribe button and the notifications button. If you like to listen to the audio only version, then go to our website, GunFreedomRadio.com, click the on demand tab, and binge listen to your heart's content. Thank you so much to our awesome guest, Deb Ferns. Thank you to all of our amazing viewers and listeners. What we do here matters because it matters to you. So thank you so much for that. And until next time, what are we going to do, Cass?
Pray for our nation.
We are. We're going to also pray for people in leadership positions, our representatives, all of those kind of people. What if there's a few that we don't really like very much? What do we do?
There's a couple.
There's a couple. Do we pray for them too?
Yes.
Maybe especially.
Unfortunately. No, we should. It's good.
Especially for them, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, until next time, be good to each other. Have a great week.